the update for the next meeting. Spurti, over to you.
Thank you, Ankita. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. All the roles for the upcoming meeting are open. Interested members could contact me. Thank you. Back to you.
1 minute. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Will you please announce who are the speakers? Though, in case those have been taken already, you have to announce it.
So nobody has booked a speech slot as yet for the next week.
Okay, so if project speech roles positions are not taken, announce that also.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Moving on, we also have an update today from our VP membership, Toastmaster Gaurav Badri. Can you please give us the update, Gaurav?
Very good evening to everyone, all the Toastmasters. So it's time of the renewal cycle. So I request all the members to please renew your membership, which will be 3,450. It will be 575 per month from the month April to September. So the deadline to renew is 25th of March. So I request all the Toastmasters to please renew before the deadline so that your journey doesn't get interrupted in Toastmasters. Thank you, and back to the president.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav. We hope to see most of our members renewing. Please do so before the deadline is expired. Next up, we have an update from the Associate Vice President Public Relations of our club, Toastmaster Ujjwal. Could you please give us the update, Ujjwal?
A very happy evening, fellow Toastmasters. The theme for the newsletter is happiness is a choice and not a chance. As we are nearing to the publication of the newsletter, I request all the members to write down an article on the given theme. It would be very nice and encouraging if large number of members submit their articles. Your deadline for the submission of article is on 8th March. I kindly request all of you to make an effort in participating and getting the skill of writing and improve it through this opportunity. Thank you. Over to the president.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ujjwal. I think it would also help members present in today's meeting if you put the theme of the newsletter in the chat box as well, so that those who missed it can also see it in the chat box and accordingly write the articles. And I request all the members, please do pour in articles for the newsletter, which is going to be released by the end of March. I request all the members to please keep their Basecamp feedback open. As and when the meeting progresses and role takers come up, please do go and give your valuable feedback on Basecamp. It could be an excellent motivating factor for most members to show up often and take up roles. And lastly, Mekon has achieved 9 DCP points, which makes us the President's Distinguished Club. So a great round of applause for having achieved this milestone. With that, I would like to end the business session for the day and hand over charge to the Sergeant at Arms for the day, Toastmaster Gaurav Badri. Over to you, Gaurav.
Very good evening once again to all the Toastmasters. When I listened to this theme, Keep the Inner Child Alive, the only thing that was coming to my mind is all those good old days where all those childish things I used to do and still carry forward doing it right now. For example, when you used to eat a cream biscuit, you still remove that biscuit apart and you'll lick the cream and eat the biscuit at the end, even though you don't like the biscuit, but still you struggle to eat it and finish it. And one more, when you're walking on the street, you will make sure that you're balancing your legs in between the footpath and make sure you don't fall on the road. I still do it, and sometimes I feel it's childish, but these are the childish things that keep us more satisfied and give us more happiness. So when it comes to all these childish things, the only thing which came to my mind is when I was very young, when my parents used to ask me to dance in front of my guests, I used to not feel anything. I used to not feel shyness, nothing. I just used to dance open-heartedly. But now if they ask me to dance in front of the guests, I'll be like, pardon me, I am not going to do that. When we were kids, the only thing which was running in our mind is to do what we like to do. When we were kids, we were not scared what people used to think what we did or what people will think if we make a mistake. But now when we want to try something new, the only thing that stops us is what do people think and how are they going to judge us. So I request everyone to always, keep that inner child within yourself and make sure that little silly things you do will always keep you happy, and don't think twice before you do something which you like to do. And I believe when we are growing, of course, our brains will be growing as well. But by keeping all these childish things within ourselves, we'll always be younger from heart. With this, I like to introduce the president of today's club, a special person. She is an qualified ACC and aspiring chartered accountant, and she's currently she's currently working at PwC, which is PricewaterhouseCoopers. Aside from commerce, she has varied interest in painting, playing guitar, practicing yoga, and learning new languages. In Mekon Communication Club, she has served as Secretary, VPM, Associate VPPR, and VP, and currently the President of Mekon Communication Club. Help me welcome Toastmaster Ankita with a huge round of applause.
Thank you so much for that warm introduction, Toastmaster Gaurav. Indeed, your address took me back to my childhood days, a sneak peek rather. Let's start off with the minutes of the previous meeting by our Secretary Toastmaster Bhavani. Over to you, Bhavani.
Thank you so much, President Toastmaster Ankita. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Here are the minutes of meeting of 1150th, held on 21st of February 2022, with the theme "Time spent with family is worth every second," and the word of the week was erroneous. The business session started at 6:21 p.m. and was chaired by our President Toastmaster Ankita. In the business session, the Vice President Education Toastmaster Spooty mentioned that all the roles but one speech slot and table topic master are open for the next meeting. The President Toastmaster She requested the members to keep the base camp open to provide feedback to the speakers and the role takers. The regular meeting started at 6:23 p.m. Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Vaishnavi started the meeting with an introduction about the theme and later handed over the charge to the President Toastmaster Ankita, who opened the meeting, spoke on the theme, and introduced the Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Ujjwal. Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Ujjwal, spoke on the theme and introduced the following role takers for the day: the timer, Toastmaster Indrani; our counter, Toastmaster Vaishnavi; grammarian, Toastmaster Shiv Prasad; PP Evaluator, Toastmaster Shashikant. The prepared speech session had two speakers. Speaker number 1, Toastmaster Prakash, was attempting level 4 elective and was evaluated by distinguished Toastmaster Udanka. The second speaker, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra, was attempting his level 2 project B and was evaluated by Toastmaster Arundhati. The table topic session was conducted by Toastmaster Prashant and had 10 speakers, who were Toastmaster Lalana, Toastmaster Shiv Prasad, Toastmaster Vaishnavi, Toastmaster Indrani, Toastmaster Sanjana, Toastmaster Arundhati, Toastmaster Shashikant, distinguished Toastmaster A.K. Prabhakara, Toastmaster Spurti, and guest Shiva Sajjan. The general evaluation session was conducted by distinguished Toastmaster A.K. Prabhakara. The winners of the week were the best prepared speaker Toastmaster Vijay Upendra, the best evaluator Toastmaster Arundhati, the best table topic speaker Toastmaster Lalana Murthy, the best role taker Tab G Toastmaster Shiv Prasad, MTG distinguished Toastmaster A.K. Prabhakara. The President closed the meeting at 8:11 p.m. and this is my report as the Secretary. Back to you, Toastmaster Ankita.
Are there any changes proposed to the minutes of the meeting? Okay, I shall consider that as passed. Thank you, Bhavani. And now I shall open meeting number 1151. A very warm good evening to fellow Toastmasters present in today's meeting room. I don't see any guests today, so we will straight away jump into the meeting. Well, I often think of the only running race I ever won. Well, actually just finished when I was about 5 years old. I was sweltering on the sports day school grounds. We had been given little crepe paper wristbands and we were lined up at the start line. "Run to the ma'am holding the ribbon as fast as you can," called out our teacher. Soon we were off, capering down the field, and I soon sped into the lead. I looked like the sure winner of the race, but then I stopped, spun around, and goaded my friends to catch up. Chandini, my classmate, raced past me, followed by Vaishnavi, but I didn't care. I was only concerned that my other friends were being left behind. That is how I finished third and became the laughing stock of the school. Ever since, I've had it rubbed into me that I was stupid to lose in my head and allow others to win. Thinking about this has made me realize how pure and unselfish little kids are. They are more genuine than any grown-up you'd ever find. There is not a trace of jealousy or rivalry amongst them. They don't bear any grudges, they don't backbite, and they don't try to pull anyone down. The only mean thoughts that fill their little heads is about their favorite pencil having broken, or whether we should complain to ma'am about the friend who broke the pencil. It is so easy to fascinate a child. You could give him a paper mask and occupy him for hours. You could take him on a bus ride and he'd be so thrilled as if he were on his way to the moon. You could make the silliest story about a prince and princess in a faraway kingdom, and it would captivate his imagination and enthrall him. You could give a toddler those squeaky shoes and watch him take a few steps with the happiest expression on his face. It's a delight to give a child a gift and watch him or her peer into it with eyes big and brimming with wonder and amazement. But what happens to us when we grow up? Why do our minds get crammed with spite and envy with every passing year? Why does every interaction we have with others have a tinge of bad flavor? Why is it so hard for us to enjoy ourselves? We are always worrying that someone else is doing better than us. We cringe at the thought of having to work with someone we don't particularly like. We grumble that a movie we saw wasn't entertaining enough and the air conditioning in the luxury bus we traveled in was too harsh. We fail to appreciate the little things in life that can bring joy. We are so preoccupied with harboring bad feelings that we don't see beyond ourselves and our comfort. If there is a race of any sort that we want to win it, no matter what it takes, who cares about who's left behind? We talk about the Darwinian theory of survival of the fittest, and that justifies our selfishness. We may call kids annoying brats sometimes, but the fact is that they are far better than any adult could ever be. The next time you see a bunch of kids playing on a revolving chair, don't kick them off. Instead, let them have those few joyous moments that you might never do. I would say, break those barriers. Strike a conversation with someone new. Cherish the small things in life because sometimes it's the trivial things that matter the most. Laugh loudly, cry easily, and love unconditionally. Never let go of that little kid inside you. Oh, and about the LKG race. I'll treasure my most selfless moment and the tiffin box I won forever. With this, I'd like to hand over the charge to our MC for the day. He is a graduate from Jain College and is currently pursuing his US CPA along with MCOM. He is passionate about table tennis, Indian history, and geography. And also, let me add, he has been one of the most active members of our club ever since he's joined. Put your hands together and let me welcome Toastmaster Shiva Prasad Kumar, the MC for the day. Over to you, Shiva.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, President Ankita. I'd like to start off by asking all of you a question. How many of you have been to those fancy kids' birthday parties? Right? The typical birthday party where only the kids are excited to be there. The adults, uncles and aunties, they have come just to bring their kids or for the food that will be served later. The uncles are usually sitting at the back, pretending to speak about big things. Sir, Ukraine-Russia war, stock market down. And then you have the aunties concerned about their kids. They might break their nose somewhere, falling down, and bragging about how their son scored A+ in LKG and whatnot. Then you finally have the kids who are the only ones present in the moment. Probably their dad or mom combed their hair. Probably the clothes that they're wearing were picked by their grandparents. No problem at all. They are running around, screaming, shouting, and enjoying and basically being present in the moment. And then there are people like me, too old to be running around with the kids playing hide and seek, and too young to be chatting with the uncles and aunties. So just sit there, grab my phone, so just to avoid awkwardness, and hope that they don't call me to play those games at these birthday parties. Speaking about games, there is one item that is commonly found in all of these birthday parties in abundance. Can any of you unmute and tell me what that item is?
Balloon.
Thank you, sir. Balloon is the right answer. I don't know about you guys, but when I see those balloons at those birthday parties, I just want to go and burst every single one of them. But I never do that, because then, I may never get invited again, or my parents will be told, take your son to a counselor. But you know what? Today in this meeting, I do not care. I do not care what you think. I have one with me right here, and I am going to burst it. Let the child within be reborn. As children, we used to ask thousands of questions. How many questions do you ask now? Or do you assume you know many things? As children, we would easily forgive others. How many people do you forgive now? Or how many grudges do you have since 5 years, 10 years? Finally, children have this strong ability of imagination. And I would personally imagine saving my school from a terrorist attack. How much do we imagine now? And as we ponder upon these questions, let me tell you all that children are also very good at learning new things, much better than all of us. And they also are experts at having fun. One place where we learn new things and have fun is a Toastmasters club. Speaking about Toastmasters, it was established by someone called Dr. Ralph C. Smedley in the year 1924 in Santa Ana, California. He established the first Toastmasters club to help people improve on their leadership and communication skills. Today, Toastmasters has grown into a global network of more than 360,000 members in over 145 countries with over 16,200 member clubs. Even though we do not have any guests, let me explain the structures of a typical Toastmaster meeting. The first session is the prepared speech session, wherein the two prepared speakers will be giving speeches based on their pathway projects. The second session is the table topic session, where topics will be randomly handed out to members to speak for a minute or two. The third session is the general evaluation session, wherein the proceedings of the entire meeting will be evaluated and valuable feedback will be given to the members. To help this meeting function in a smooth manner, we have few role takers with us today. And as and when I call out their role, they will introduce it. First, we have the timer, Toastmaster Shashikant.
Hello, good evening everyone. As a timer, so I will note down the time taken for table topics, prepared speech and the evaluation. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left by changing my background to green, yellow and red cards. Like for prepared speech session, if the speech is for 5 to 7 minutes, then for 5 minutes I will change my background to green, and for 6 minutes I will change my background to yellow, And for 7 minutes, I will change my background to red. And coming to the table topic speeches, so I will change my background to green at the 1 minute, and I will change my background to yellow at the 1.5 minute, and I will change my background to red at 2 minutes. Coming to the evaluation session, so I will change my background background green to 2 minutes, yellow to 2.5 minutes, and red for 3 minutes. That's it. And back to you, MC of the day, Toastmaster Shiva.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shashikant. Next, we have our R counter, distinguished Toastmaster MU Bhatt.
Mr. Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters. All of us join the Toastmasters to improve our communication and leadership skills, to become better speakers. But one thing that comes in giving an effective speech is the kind of crutch words and ahs and ums we use. That may happen for several reasons. That is essentially a difference between thought and the speech. There is no out of sync, because we are thinking always at a much higher speed than what we can speak. So that lack of synchronization sometimes affects our bringing out these ahs and ums and crutch words. There is sometimes crowding of multiple words to think and present, and in the process we use those crutch words and ahs and ums. My job as the R counter today is to identify such crutch words or repetitive words or ahs and ums from each of the speakers today, and bring it to their notice as diplomatically as possible. And I will submit my report to the general evaluator when called upon by him. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, DTM MU Bhatt. Next, we have the Parliamentary Procedure Evaluator, DTM Udanka.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shiva. For the smooth functioning of the meeting, we have few rules that need to be followed. Please refrain talking about sex, religious, and politics. Kindly put your mobile phones and other electronic gadgets on silent or switch off mode. Turn on your video throughout the meeting. If not, please rename yourself as available through audio and drop a message if you're exiting the meeting. And kindly make sure you exit the meeting during the transition of the speaker. I'll be giving my report during the general evaluation. Back to you, Toastmaster Shiva.
Thank you, DTM Udanka. Finally, we have our grammarian for today, DTM Prabhakara AK.
Grammar enhances the value of communication and also the speech. For that, one grammarian is appointed for that to fix things that doesn't go right, but to also bring out what went right and what was the best usages so that it becomes a habit with others as well. So that is the one that I will be reporting at the end of the meeting during the general evaluation session. Over to Master Sir Toastmaster Shiva.
Thank you, DTM AK Prabhakara, and thank you all the role takers for explaining your roles very well. Without further ado, let us get started with our first session, the prepared speeches session. Before I call upon the first speaker, I'd like to invite his evaluator, Toastmaster Ujwal, to read out project guidelines.
A very happy evening once again to all the fellow Toastmasters and my target speaker, Toastmaster Varaprasad in particular. The purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmaster envisions mentoring. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a prodigy. Coming to the evaluators criteria, the member completing this project is developing an understanding of the Toastmasters mentoring. The speech is about a time when the member was a prodigy. It may be from any time in his or her life. The member may discuss any aspect of the prodigy experience. The speech should not be a report on the content of the introduction to the Toastmasters mentoring project. Timer, please note the time allotted for this speech is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to the speaker. Over to you, MC.
Toastmaster Ujwal. Our first speaker for today is a BE in Electronics and Communication from Mysore University, Hassan, working currently as a Deputy General Manager in Robert Bosch Engineering and Business Solutions. He has 20 plus years of industrial experience in nuclear, medical, and automotive domains. To keep his inner child alive, he says that he plays with his children or goes on long drives. Please welcome our first speaker for today, Toastmaster Varaprasad, with his speech titled Passion to Solution. Passion to Solution, Toastmaster Varaprasad.
Am I audible? What are the chances of a well-matured idea or innovations to convert as a successful solution or a product? Can you all tell me what percentage it gets of matured ideas converted to product? Anybody can unmute and share?
Less than 5%, maybe.
You're getting it right. You all surprised, or not a surprise, but less than 6%. It's mere less than 6%. We all know India emerged as great service industry, especially in IT. Mr. Toastmasters, fellow Toastmaster and dear guests, we have an abundant energy, a passion in young India, generate so much of ideas, innovations, but we still lack to catch up when it comes to the finished solutions or products. Can you think why? Any idea why? I agree. There's a lot of dimension to it. Maybe an idea, communication of idea, business model, engineering part of it, marketing part of it. But there is one key common thing across all these dimensions: a helping, a guiding, experienced hand who can really understand the wisdom of the idea, a strength of the idea, can be non-judgmental, can enable, empower, and enrich any idea or a protege to reach or convert to product or reach to the goal. I think you are all guessing, being a Toastmasters, I am talking about an experienced guiding hand, a mentor. Let me pick the example of my initial career journey in a first company or a first product development experience. It was a beautiful Sunday morning. Me and my boss was in office, and my boss was evaluating the product, a thermoluminescence dosimeter, supposed to heat the nuclear sensitive element and read the light when you heat into the certain temperature pattern. She sat, everything was switched off, and the product has 3 parts: computer and an embedded device and a heater element. And I was responsible for design and development and validate of embedded device with a heater. It just turned on all, tuck, tuck, tuck. Boom. It just rapidly shooted up to peak temperature, about 800 degrees, whole system is hot. It just turned like to me, because the product was validated, scheduled for a release, completely validated. And when we dig deep into the product, the 2 things came out. First thing, I've used a DAC, a digital to analog voltage converter, with the latch-in option, a chip with a latch-in option, which simply latched the value as a high All who works in engineering who knows 111 in digital world, it's high, and push the maximum voltage to the heater before computer boots up and resets it to 0 value. But the whole validation done. And in all my validations, what I did, simple thing is, to keep it safe as a precautionary, I always turned off a heater switch and make every system boots, computer on, and then turned on the heater. I did completely like this. The moral of the story is my boss realized and he immediately alerted or made me a mentor for a product. And from a mentor for a product, an experienced guiding hand. Let me share other example of my boss journey from last 17 years. I was scheduled for an assessment for my manager, first manager role, a leadership role as a prospect manager. It is called as a potential oriented interview, where senior leadership will evaluate. I prepared well as for the complete guidelines. A concept is ready. Prepared myself, but started feeling nervous. The nervousness pulled me to meet my boss. I went him, shared my concept, and I also expressed that he recognized my nervousness. And he listened completely, patiently, and just asked me to schedule multiple recurring meetings. We had multiple sessions. And key things he enabled me, or things he explained me, is to made me to evolve the concept, a structure of it, make it relevant, timing of it, how to handle the leading questions with the leadership framework, how to pick the right examples to share in the meeting, in a discussion, and especially, particularly which greatly helped me is a do's and don'ts in that meeting. The first thing, it boosted my confidence. Trust me, I was come out with full colors in that assessment. And this is where my journey as a protege went up, started as with my mentor. Like in Toastmasters, my journey till today, last 17 years with Bosch or in my older career, always started with mentor. The key are successful factors to keep your mentor or a protege journey. If I can share, is a trust, openness, and a commitment with a willingness enables you and makes you successful journey with a mentor. Things to watch, as I agree with the President Ankita or the Shiva which they picked up. Overexcitement. Sometimes we be over optimistic, looks arbitrary. A lot of assumptions can challenge this journey. Things to watch. Whether it's a product development or a leadership journey or any other goals, the common key thing is a mentor. Let's embrace and inculcate the journey of mentor or get mentored. I would strongly motivate all and invite you all, like in Toastmasters, let's harvest the benefits of a mentor journey, mentor protect journey in all phases, all dimensions, and reach different heights. Let's develop a passion to produce successful solutions. Back to MC.
Toastmaster Varaprasad. Let's all give him another round of applause for that inspiring speech. Right, now it's time for our second speaker. I'd like to call her Evaluator Toastmaster Spurti to read out her project guidelines.
Good evening once again, and to my specific good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Bhavani Hemant. The purpose of this speech is for the member to apply the skills needed to successfully lead in a volunteer or any other organization. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspects of his or her experience as a leader or the impact of a 360-degree evaluation. Thank you. And back. Sorry, before that, timer, please note, the speech is for 8 to 10 minutes. Thank you. And back to the MC.
Thank you, Toastmaster Spurti. Our second speaker for today is an extrovert who is an avid reader and a penchant dancer. She holds an MBA in finance and is currently working as an analyst in Society General. She also holds a graduation degree in Abacus. She has been recognized by NGOs for her active contribution towards society. Currently, she serves as the area director for Area C2 and also the club secretary of Mekong Communication Club. To keep her inner child alive, she says she dances her heart out and prefers to read novels. Please welcome our second speaker of the day, Toastmaster Bhavani, with her speech titled, Step Up, Step Out. Step Up, Step Out, Toastmaster Bhavani.
Who wants to be the president of a new Toastmasters club in BMS? Asked HOD with a stern voice. There were two choices, step up or step out. I raised my hand slowly as I wanted to back this new opportunity. Well, that was an arbitrary decision. Bhavani, good, stand up. I did it. Confident yet clueless. Good evening, Toastmasters. Do you remember the last time you were clueless about doing something? It is often said a ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for. Every situation we face in our lives is very similar. It's so perfect to stay in our comfort zone, but is this what we are here for? When the HOD asked that day, I decided to step up. Was I sure about what to do? No, absolutely clueless. Was I confident? Maybe. But I just did not want to stay at the harbor. As soon as the charter process was complete in March 2020, I connected with the club mentors. They were the one who helped and assisted the club as well as the members. They helped me in understand the why aspect of Toastmasters. We had decided to conduct the weekly meetings on Saturdays. That very thought excited me. I was looking forward to the first meeting. But I'm pretty sure that the universe decided that let me not enjoy my college life. Boom. We were stuck with Zoom. COVID happened. The first meeting of Toastmasters was held not in an open auditorium, but on Zoom. As someone who stepped up, the HOD asked me to support not only my own club, but the other 3 new clubs at BMS. Suddenly, I found myself with a longer to-do list as my fellow classmates were pretty excited about this new journey. There were 2 choices, step up or step outer. Delegating rather than doing became the new norm. I ensured that each and every member and the officers were aware of their roles and responsibilities, and alongside were working towards fulfilling their individual goals too. This not only helped me in being organized, but also helped me in handling multiple activities simultaneously and meeting the specific goals too. Once, during a conversation with my then area director, there was a new term that caught my attention: the distinguished club status. When asked, he explained to me about the 10 BCPs. I thought, let me try to achieve at least 5 and make my club a distinguished club. But I had very little time in hand. The last date was June 30th, 2020, but I understood the concept on June 10th, 2020. I had only 20 days and 4 goals to accomplish. There were again 2 choices: step up or step out. Planning and pace setting was the mantra. As a president, I had to set high standards for the club and also lead by example. I attempted my level 1 project 3 at the very next meeting, and the VP and I plan to help 3 more members achieve their level 1s in the following meetings. I was quite happy as a president, especially as a new member of a new club and being one among others to contribute to attain the distinguished club status. The moment I was waiting for finally arrived. I received a text that said, "Bhavani, congrats on getting the club to distinguished status." The dashboard finally reflected that BMS MBA Phoenix was a distinguished club. Along with this, the club was also recognized with the Pinnacle Award. I still remember the day that I was holding this shining trophy as the proud president. As the days went by, the COVID wave did not end. The 15 days lockdown, which was initially announced, became 50 days and more and more. The interest of the members started deteriorating. The number of attendees in the regular club meeting started reducing. Yet again, there were 2 choices: step up or step out. Instead of having single club meetings, we started having combined meetings. The next thought that came to my mind was to talk to the members and build a better personal connection. One-on-one calls replaced "can you take up a role" texts. Being there for the members was more important than simply filling up the agenda. A very simple, normal conversation about how their day went by, how the members in their family were doing, and their basic well-being made a difference. My fellow classmates were doing well that time, but eventually few of them had to face COVID. Either they got infected or one of their dear ones did. During this scenario, I learned to be collaborative. By focusing more on emotional needs and emphasizing the teamwork, I was using the affiliative style of leadership. During this journey, each time I got stuck, there were 2 choices. Either I could step up and adopt a new leadership style, or step out and live happily ever after. Choosing the former helped me to learn and explore my own abilities as an individual. I realized leadership is never the one size that fits for all. It's about adapting to the situation and adapting to the style that works and achieves the results. From being a supportive leader, a pace setter, and later choosing the affiliative style of leadership, according to the situations, I have discovered my style only because I chose to step up each time and not step out. When you find yourself clueless about a situation, what would you choose? Step up or step out? Mr. Toastmaster.
That was a wonderful speech, Toastmaster Bhavani. Let us give her another cue. Now, we've had a wonderful first session. It is time for the second session. Am I visible and audible? Okay, thank you. It is time for the second session now. It's called the table topic session. This is my favorite session. It tests the creativity of the speakers. As kids, we had immense amount of creativity. For example, I used to think of hundreds of ways in which Tom could get back at Jerry. And I'm sure all of you also did have certain thoughts of that sort. The table topic master will be arbitrarily handing out topics to the speakers. She is an engineering graduate in electronics and communication, currently working for Z Omega as compliance manager. Her hobbies include cooking, listening to music, meditation, yoga, and spending time with family. She has come to Toastmasters to improve her communication skills and leadership qualities. To keep her inner child happy, she enjoys whatever work she does and keeps smiling. What a beautiful thought. One more thing that we lose as we grow up is that beautiful smile. Over to our table topic master for today, Toastmaster Indrani.
Thank you, table topic MC of the day, Shiv, for a beautiful introduction. Good evening, everyone. Today I'll be taking up this table topic session. To give a brief, it helps members to develop their ability to organize their thoughts quickly and respond to an impromptu question or a topic that will be given in this session for a member to speak. So as Shiv said, this also is going to help the member to creatively think and speak confidently so that he or she builds up his the Toastmaster skills that is required to for his purpose. So let's not take more time. Let's go into the topic. Let me able to view my screen? Thank you. Okay. This topic goes to Udanka.
Hey everybody, am I visible and audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for this lovely topic, table topic master. I see my old days here, the days where I used to play with my family. I did not have pets. Yeah, that's the pets were not included in that picture. But when I was young, my parents used to stay with me, or they used to spend time with me, and we used to sit together, enjoy a lot. And now, as the time has grown up, everybody is shifted to 3 different rooms, having meetings, having office calls, having this. So to not to disturb each other, we have moved to 3 different rooms in our same house, and we hardly meet for a lunch or a dinner. We hardly sit together for lunch or dinner. But those were good old days where we had everything together. Those memories are clear in my mind. And also that brings a bond between the family. When we sit together, when we enjoy moments together, that brings a special bond between us. And I don't see that connection now. And though I have a good relation with my parents, but I don't see that exact bond or that the love emotions what they had to me before. When growing up could one of be a reason, but yeah, COVID has brought many people together, and COVID has made people go apart also. With that, handing over the charge back to Table Topic Master. Over to you, Toastmaster Imran.
Thank you, Toastmaster Udanka. Sorry, DTM Udanka. That was really this information that you provided was related to the topic, and really agree the inner thoughts that you shared with us. Thank you. Moving to the next topic. This topic goes to Toastmaster Shashi.
Good evening, Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, and there's no guest. Yeah, this pictures remembers me my school days when I used to go to school, and we would have the painting classes, and our teacher make us to read and write, and apart from that, we used to play together and everything. But really, coming in nowadays, I'm going to miss all the paintings because all the things will be done in a system, and there is a specific software for everything, and there is a in mobile there is a apps. And but apart from that, painting, actually I'm not good in painting, but I used to waste the color a lot, because my sister used to paint very well. But to learn that, I used to take all the paintings of her and all the colors of her, and I used to waste a lot of it. And after that, when my dad come to home, he used to scold me for doing all that. And that's it. Back to Toastmaster, table topic master, Toastmaster in the end.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shashi. That was an wonderful insights that you shared on your childhood days. Thank you, and the topic is related to your speech. Thank you. Moving to the next topic. This topic is given to DTM MU Butt.
Madam Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters. This again, just as Shashi and Danka recollected, took me back to my own childhood. Now, what I can see in the background is that, that village road and one vehicle passing through that. But I was driving a bicycle. That is one thing which I have been, even in my childhood, I used to enjoy that, passing through that woods near my village into the forest nearby. And it was really enjoyable, but it was a more solitary, as you can see here. But there actually what we are doing was we are going along with few friends. And in the first picture, you can see that our neighboring children of today, of course, at those days, we didn't have that luxury of that, whatever she is riding. What is it called now? I don't know that. But what I really liked was that the third one, when I recollected that, because I was a Boy Scout in my school, and it was a pleasure going on scouting expeditions. And with the backpack, I still remember the time we spent, good time we spent. But those days, I don't think that can be repeated in today's environment. So I really pity, or I'm really feeling bad that our younger generation is not having that kind of scouting life, or open atmosphere. There's one thing which we are missing. That is very unfortunate. But yes, if those who are still put into some boarding schools and they are taken to expeditions and all that is fine. But it never replaces the day-to-day living, amongst children, having a nice time. That's my take on that subject. With the back to table topic master.
Thank you, DTM MU Butt. That was a beautiful insight and amazing information that you provided. Thank you. Moving to the next topic. Let me share my screen, sorry. This topic goes to DTM Prabhakara.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. This, especially the dining table stuff, is the one that reminds me of my childhood. We had a dining space much bigger than this kitchen also. And the one who is serving reminds me of my mother. We have 5 brothers and a joint family. And of course, we didn't have dining table. We had a typical Indian setup, a wooden platform on which we sat, and there were plates in front of us on the ground. And my mother would be serving one after another. And my father-in-law, her father-in-law, that is my grandfather, used to, he was a diabetic and paralytic. So she had to prepare roti as it is hot, she would put in his plate, but simultaneously she would put rice into our plate, and depending on the kid's particular age, she would exactly put what is required for him in terms of quantity, and also kind of ensure that it doesn't spill over, especially sambar and rasam. The kind of dexterity and agility with which she did, ensuring that everybody is in place and that exact quantity is eaten, and somebody cannot even mix things. And that in between, she would do it with her hand quickly and move around, ensure that things happen quickly. And there were exams for some, and she would remind him of that next day exam. There's chaos, but there was order in chaos for her. And there was fun. Somebody was, she would ask, when is the school fees to be paid? Did you take a look at the notice board? And he would say, no, I forgot. Then she would say, elder brother, you go and take a look. And you go and take a look tomorrow, because that could be the last day. So there are simultaneous things were happening all over the place, and it would be over in half an hour. And things were in such an order that people would go, or the children would go back to their table to study. And some of us who had finished studied, we would play cricket inside the home. We had large space. And it was something like fun 24/7, and there was joy, and success was celebrated on everybody's success, and the fun and frolic went on. I cannot forget those days, the way my mother managed the whole situation. Over to table topic master.
Thank you, DTM Prabhakara sir. That was really a wonderful speech you gave us, which took us back of your remembrance, talking about your family, grandparents, and the life that was led in the childhood days. Thank you. So moving to the next topic. This topic goes to Toastmaster Spurti.
Good evening once again, and thank you, Table Topic Master, for this picture. This is me being an extrovert. I think this picture feels very relevant. I love going to the park. I go for my runs to the park. And sometimes, during Sundays in Cubbon Park, it somewhat looks exactly like this. There are people playing the guitar, spinning like, I don't know what they're called. It's like, these woolen balls that they keep spinning. Many people are participating in so many games. Some people are even having a small, cute picnic. And like you can see the lady there, she's wondering about where to go, which flight to take next. Even on a Sunday, you can spot a lot of people thinking about what they want to do on the next very day, which is a Monday. They would have already started thinking about Monday. And of course, there's one lady clicking photographs of the man in front of the fountain. Sometimes what happens in front of the same thing, people want pictures from all angles. And after even like one round of walk, I've actually seen the same person standing for a picture and the exact same person taking. And the expression of the person taking the picture had changed drastically after my one round of walk, because she had lost her patience. And again, people reading books. So everybody, I really like to see people get out of the house and try new things. It also inspires me. So I think one day even I'm going to go participate in all these events that happen for free, especially in Covent Park. And the kind of interest and the variety of thoughts when it comes to creativity is super with people. That's what I'm really appreciating about people of our generation or in people with varied interest. So thank you for the topic, and back to the table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Spurti. That was related to the topic, and thank you for sharing your information. So, moving to the next topic, this goes to Toastmaster Vijay Upendra.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. Good evening, Toastmasters. Welcome, guests. This picture reminds me of my first employment that I took in the year 1984. It is very much similar, the office structure, people, giving guidance or giving, say, about input to employees. All these things are very similar to what I faced in my first employment. That's a wonderful thing because people is to involve so that the other person can evolve. That was the thing in our days. Unlike the present day, where an employee sits in front of the computer and interacts with only computer, not with human beings. Whatever is fed inside the computer, that comes out as output. But when it comes to question of emotional interaction with human beings, that is absent in today's condition. That is the reason now we see a lot of psychological problems in the society. There is no sharing. There is no input. These are all the reasons where we see a lot of problems. One person doesn't have the time to understand the other person, help him to come out of his problems or her problems. Thereby, each person has become an island within himself. A lot of emotional turmoil is taking place within one's own self. It is always better to find an office, even today, so that where people are sharing and developing, so that each one is helping the other person to achieve their desired goals. Thank you, and back to you, Table Top Master of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. That was really a beautiful insight, taking us back to your first office that you have worked on, and interpreting on that picture. Thank you for it. So, moving on to the next topic. This topic goes to Toastmaster Ankita.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Table Topic Master, for the topic. Well, this picture reminds me of my current home when I used to come back from school. Like we had these vendors all selling stuff downstairs. And the one delicacy that I absolutely loved was this person who used to come with the ice cream cart. Like the quality was ice cream with the bell that used to ring, like as he would push the ice cream truck. And my house faces the backside, so not the main road. So as soon as I would hear that ice cream truck pass by, all the neighbors would rush down to my house and we would run downstairs and we would all have this orange stick from the ice cream cart. And I remember devouring the orange stick for a good 20-30 minutes. We would very nicely and slowly eat it and discuss what happened in school and how lazy and how much work we had to do in school and our assignments that are coming up and all of that. And we would then play badminton for a while, play some cricket. And we also used to play this game called Lagori, where you would hit a bunch of stones on the road and then run. And we used to also play kabaddi. And the one thing that was very annoying at the same time used to be all of these vendors who used to be like, coming in the middle when, as you were playing, and we would just be like, okay, please, can you move? You're spoiling our game. I mean, these are small little memories that remain etched in my memory that I can just never forget. And as soon as I saw that picture, it just took me back to that very thing. And I remember there was this guava tree, like right adjacent to my building, and we would try to jump as high as we could and catch those guavas. And I also remember like playing cricket and the ball going and hitting the window of some old auntie. She would come out screaming at us and we would all just run, disperse everywhere. I mean, I think childhood days were the golden periods of our life, and we only realized that after we've grown up. But nevertheless, they'll always be with us in our memories. And I mean, don't be sad that it's over. Be happy that it happened, I guess. Thank you very much. And back to the table topic, Master Indrani.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ankita. That was a beautiful insight, taking us back to your childhood days and how you had enjoyed and interpreting on the topic. Thank you. Moving on to the next topic. This goes to Toastmaster Balaji. Sorry. Toastmaster Balaji.
Yes.
Thank you.
What a beautiful image, what a beautiful mood. This reflects on those beautiful days that I've always wanted to live. In fact, every single time I am quiet and I think to myself, how do I calm myself? I think of this very picture. A beautiful sunset. People I love. Of course, people I love are of different sizes, like in this picture. When I look at this picture, comes in a lot of emotions, comes in a lot of true nature, comes in a lot of epiphanies and empathies and love for the world that I live in. Because this is world as it is in all its raw nature. This is a pictorial representation of how one could reach the epitome of joy and happiness if you let go of everything and jump free in the air. And you could do exactly this when you're 100% not prepared for a table topics because you're the general evaluator and suddenly the table topic master says it's you and you have no idea what you're saying. And to get an idea, you can just jump and live free.
Thank you, table topic. Thank you, Toastmaster Balaji. That was a wonderful insight that you interpreted on the topic which was relevant. And thanks again. Moving to the next topic. This goes to Toastmaster Mukesh. Toastmaster Mukesh.
Indrani, I think he's not in the meeting, probably some network issues.
Okay, thank you. Okay, you can move this topic to Toastmaster Shiva.
Thank you, table topic master, and a very good evening once again to fellow Toastmasters and guests. This beautiful picture reminds me of my native place, my mother's native place, outside of Kasaragod in Kerala. Women weaving baskets. There is a basket full of coconuts, enjoying cool coconut water. Especially, I prefer the yellow-colored ones to the green ones. They seem to have sweeter water compared to the green ones. There are people making furniture there. We hardly see all this when in Bangalore, here in the center of the city. There's people cutting down trees. I don't know how to feel about that, honestly. That's about it. Back to the table topic, master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shiva. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and taking us back to your childhood days and remembering your mom's place. Thank you for it. I'm done with the table topic session for today. Back to you, MC Shiva.
Thank you, table topic master. Honestly, every topic, every slide that you showed us, it looked like it was straight out of a children's storybook. So great table topic session. Let's give her another round of applause. Let us now have a break for 5 minutes. The time is 7:30. Let us return at 7:35.
Hello, Ujjwal.
Hi, Spurti. Thank you for constantly pushing me to make it here.
Yes, great speech.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations in completing your speech.
Yeah, see, it's very tough to realize the number of days I'm losing, or because of the office, especially that to connected from home and leading the team it's something very, very tough. Yeah, and because of your constant texting, it enabled me to relook back to the speech.
We're all sailing on the same boat,
Yeah.
correct? Because of the whole COVID situation.
Yeah.
Everybody's having to manage many things and multitask. So I understand your situation also.
Yeah, a lot of recruitment we need to do. Huge market gap. Struggling, yeah. Hi, Udanka. After a long time.
Hello, sir. Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good, sir. How about you?
Going on, Udanka. Not able to count the days or the speed at which days are passing.
Yeah.
I'm eager to go back to office or even to meet in Meccan, man. When are we starting back our face-to-face sessions?
Very
Any
shortly,
idea?
sir. Very shortly. That's what I received the news from the EC.
So that's a big way I had to tell in office and disconnect from that word and travel hall. Now I'll be having parallelly pinging. Yeah. Yeah. So I was asking Spurti when we can start. Yeah.
I think soon. Now everything again is getting back to normal.
Correct.
Hopefully we have.
Hey, so sorry for breaking in here.
No
It's been
problem.
quite some time I attended a session properly. So could you just run me through the order? So first we call the evaluators, we listen to their evaluation and then go with the rest, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I thought you were in a beach house for a second as soon as you entered with the. It looked so.
Oh, I wish. This is just my wish. That's out.
9 minutes. Oh. Challenge is to limit.
Varaprasad, sir, what domain you work on?
I'm in ADAS, Advanced Driver System Assistance Systems.
Okay.
Radar, video cameras, ultrasound sensors.
Okay.
For customers like Ferrari, Bentley, Aston Martin, all top brands.
Nice.
If COVID was not there, I would have traveled and probably had a chance to sit in a vehicle testing.
Yeah, drive. You could have even driven one.
Yeah, maybe I have to see this year or last quarter or next year.
Okay.
It's basically autonomous driving, Udanka.
Got it, sir.
And we're massively recruiting people with embedded technology knowledge. If anybody experience, share me either in LinkedIn or connect me.
Sure, sir, I'll do. Because I am also looking for a job, and my mom is having a recruitment company. I just was not. I was curious enough for what that recruitment you're on.
It's basically electronics guys with experience and automotive.
Yes, sir.
And especially controllers, real-time controllers and real-time software.
Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, Toastmaster Shiva, it's 5 minutes.
Welcome back, fellow Toastmasters. It is now time for the third and final session for today, the general evaluation session. All of us have channelized our inner child today. And obviously we would have made a lot of mistakes. We might have made a lot of good things. And we need someone to tell us, Bacha, you did this right, you didn't do this well. And for that, we have a general evaluator. Personally, he's a man that I look forward to hearing every time he speaks. He has a BBA degree from CMS. He's a teacher, trainer, and a corporate host. He has hosted over 700 corporate shows and trained over 4,000 college students and sales personnel. Please welcome with a big round of applause our general evaluator for today, Toastmaster Balaji.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shiva, for that beautiful introduction. And as a general evaluator, I am thoroughly ready with the evaluation, but I'm really confused with the order. As a general evaluator, I'll have to be very honest with what's happening, but Toastmasters is a platform for us to learn. And here goes my first ever general evaluation. So let me start off with the evaluators, and let's listen to the speech evaluations, after which I'll be moving into the other parts of the meeting. So let us call upon our evaluator 1, Toastmaster Ujjwal.
A very happy evening once again to all the fellow Toastmasters and my target speaker, Toastmaster Varaprasad in particular. I've received the evaluation form well in hand and I've thoroughly gone through it. Firstly, congratulations, Toastmaster Varaprasad, on completing your level 3 project 2. Today, I would like to evaluate the speech based on 3 aspects: what you excelled at, what you have to work on, and what you can challenge yourself. You started your speech by raising a question. What a great start, I would say. You really excelled at holding the grip of the audience attention throughout your speech. So kudos to you on that. The way you connected your story to the mentoring was just awesome. You really excelled at the storytelling technique, I would say. And the story was very apt for this project. So kudos to you on that effort. And then I would like to appreciate you for standing and delivering your speech. So now coming to what you can work on is that the purpose of the project was to share some aspect of the experience as a prodigy. In your speech, you really made an attempt to bring that experience with your boss. But what I felt was, since this project mainly focuses on mentor and protege relationship, I felt your speech was more focused on how important was a mentor in one's life. Yes, I understand that you should also speak on that aspect as well, but your experience with the mentor was left out, I felt. So if you could have added a little more of experience as a protege, you could have done justice to your speech. But this doesn't take away from your amazing job in attempting to do so. And then you really made an attempt in making hand movements, but it was not fully seen. Yes, I can understand since you are delivering your speech in an online mode, but if you can pull down your screen, little down, maybe till here, so it would have been great. So coming to what you can challenge yourself is that actually I really don't have anything to say on what you can challenge yourself. But what I observed was you try to use voice modulation whenever required. But I felt it could have been little more. And how can you do so is if you could have brought in 2 characters in your story and have used a voice modulation for each character, the speech would have been little more interesting. And coming to the time allotted for your speech was 5 to 7 minutes, but you took 9 minutes. So till 7 minutes 30 seconds, it could have been fine. So it would be good if you can stick to the time allotted for you. But this doesn't take away from your amazing speech. The best part was that you're linking to the story, to the project calls for, or to the protege experience. So it was the best part, I would say. So all the best for your future projects, Toastmaster Varaprasad. I would be liking to have more and more amazing speeches from you. Thank you, and over to the general evaluator.
Even before we could get to the speaker and his evolution as a speaker, I would love to say, Toastmaster Ujjwal, the quality of your evaluation and the word choice you had for your evaluation is something that I was spellbound by today. The amazing sandwich technique that you used, you covered all the aspects, you made the speaker feel good for all those points that the speaker did do great in, and also gave some amazing, valuable, countable suggestions that Toastmaster Varaprasad can take home from you. All in all, I would really like to congratulate on a great evaluation, Toastmaster Ujjwal. You didn't just follow the protocols of what the evaluator had to do, but you also did your homework on what the project is, because that's where the evaluator grows strong on how to give the evaluation. Like the speaker getting ready with his speech, the evaluator needs to go through the speech guidelines, and you rightly pointed out everything about the speaker and also criteria of the speech, which makes it all the more perfect. Thank you, Toastmaster Ujjwal, for that great evaluation. Congratulations on an evaluation, and congrats to Toastmaster Varaprasad on a great speech delivered. Let us now move to our evaluator number 2, Toastmaster Spurti.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and to my target speaker, Bhavani Hemant. Before I proceed to my evaluation, there's something that I want to mention. The speech guidelines and the evaluation form was submitted to me way before in hand, so I could prepare for it. Your speech is, as an evaluator, there are 3 things that I'm going to there are three points that I'm going to give your evaluation over. First one is the time spent as a leader in any organization. Second one, the 360-degree evaluation you got from your peers. And the third point is how you reflected on this evaluation. Same as a previous evaluator, I'm going to be dividing your speech into where you excelled at and where you could improve. So starting off your speech, ships in harbor are safe, but what's the use if the ships don't sail? I love this phrase. I think it set the tone for your entire speech. It's something, it was so relevant and it holds such a strong message. So one more thing is you stood up for your speech, even in an online platform, which is great. The first question that you asked all of us were, how would you feel when the HOD came and asked you if you want to become a president of the Toastmasters Club? That tone that you conveyed in was an attention grabber, and we all felt like, I put myself in the situation and I could imagine how I would have felt. So that tone was clearly communicated to me. After that, you mentioned the process of how you became a leader. First, you said, okay, the HOD asked you, and after that, you wanted to step up or step down, but you chose to step up. That means with this process, you also recognized you were, yeah, you were a very strong leader and you didn't want to let your peers down. That means you were an out of the box person. You explained the situations that you faced, which help you recognize your leadership style. There was clarity in your speech, and as it's mentioned in the speech guidelines, you could volunteer or take leadership anywhere in any organization, including Toastmasters. And because you chose Toastmasters, it was extremely clear and simple for all the audience to understand. Your hand gestures were on point initially when you slowly put down, you took your hand up. That also gave a lot of comfort. With this speech, I also understood that you're a very empathetic person, a patient person, and you've definitely recognized your leadership style. The situation then when you came to COVID and how you got the DCP points for your peers, and how that built in a lot of confidence in them. And once people were getting infected, how you took all those situations was very inspirational and motivational. Coming to where you have to improve. So you did mention 2 or 3 points within the time limit of 10 minutes. You could have mentioned only 2 or 3 points about how you reflected and the evaluation of your peers. I feel you spend most of the time telling what kind of a leader you became, how you were as a leader, or the leadership style that you recognized. If you had split the time for 3 things, like I said, time spent, the evaluation given by your peers, and how you reflected, I feel that way it would have been a little more clear. The last 2 points, your peer evaluation, although you mentioned 2-3 points, I feel they could have been more with the time limit. And how you reflected was something that was not very clear in this speech, I suppose. And the word step up, step down, you used it in many situations. I feel there could have been a little more vocal variety with that particular phase, although, I understand that was your title. All in all, needless to say, you're a great speaker. You inspire, and you're a very valuable member to us. You, like in your speech, you're very helpful to everyone here, be it any contest, club, even a single meeting. You're the go-to person. Thank you so much, Bhavani, and congratulations on completing this project. Back to the general evaluator.
Wow. I would love to use the word wow, because that was, I think, textbook evaluation. This speech was genuinely not one of those easy speeches to evaluate, because as I feel, Toastmaster Bhavani outperformed today, and she really was prepared. The entire speech was scripted. She took care of everything. And on top of that, when the evaluator goes and identifies those little tiny gray areas which otherwise would be unavailable for a naked eye, I would really like to congratulate Spurti on that. And as a whole, for the entire club, there's a common suggestion that I would make. It always seems that we take time a little for granted. It applies to every single one of us, including me. Because I'm a speaker who generally speaks continuously, and generally my talks are 1 hour, 1.5 hours, and initial 5 minutes is my warm-up time. Toastmasters clearly made me understand that initial 5 minutes is actually not the warm-up time. That initial 5 minutes is the most important time. Both the evaluators, however, evaluator Ujjwal was within time, and Spurti, initially you went a little psychoanalyzing the entire script, which could have avoided, and we could have directly gone to what was right with Bhavani's speech. And the suggestions, the valuable suggestions that you gave was after the red light went on. So you could have stayed in time. And the same goes out to our speakers, Toastmaster Varaprasad and Bhavani, who shot quite out of their time frame. So respecting the green light, yellow light, and red light would really help us, because considering in most of the platforms, all our talks are timed. In fact, most of the platforms, they are timing us to from 30 seconds to 2 minutes itself. So getting all that you want to communicate within the time would be great. But anyway, we had 2 fabulous speeches and 2 clear-cut evaluations. Let's give a nice round of applause for both our evaluators and our speakers. Now I'll be starting off with the session evaluation. Firstly, the session started at 6:20 p.m. 5 minutes delay. Considering we are talking about time and the importance of time, this applies for general evaluator also, who logged in at 6:17. So every single one of us, if we could log in by 6:10, so our role takers could be chosen within 6:15, and if we could start by 6:15, that would speak a lot for the club itself, because one of these generally is a core value, because timing definitely takes the precedence. Let me start with the speaker who went on first, that is the Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Gaurav. Toastmaster Gaurav, I would say, set a nice mood to the entire meet. He set the mood that was required for a very hearty, soft-hearted theme that we have chosen for the day. He kindled the spirit that was required for the meet. And if I need to suggest something to Gaurav, I don't know how much of prep time Gaurav put into this initial talk that he came up with. For me, it looked like he was speaking from his personal experience, which is fabulous, Gaurav. That speaks a lot about you as a speaker. Now, if you really need to up the game as the Sergeant at Arms and the first person who sets the tone for the entire meet, maybe you could have scripted your lines first and then added the message in a stronger format, because once you have a couple of takes, the third or fourth take is generally a lot more better. But honestly, not to take away from the energetic start that you gave to us, Gaurav. Thank you so much. Let's hear it for Sergeant at Arms. And next up is the chairperson, Toastmaster Ankita, the president. I mean, I generally use the word wow for everything that I really like. And your start, was it good? I would say it was great. Every single word was prepared. Ankita, your strength is the word choice, the grammar, and the sentence formation. Just like how a person cannot lose weight at the gym, but at the kitchen, there is no speech that can function with just the body language and voice modulation without the scripting. And if I have to bank on someone for an apt, perfect script, I would always look at our president, Ankita. What a clean script she started off with. Initially, it was all happy moments, and then it went on to some context and the body, and then a nice conclusion with a very powerful message. When someone looks at Ankita talk, they'll definitely say this: that's our president. So I would really congratulate on a very well prepared speech, Ankita. We really loved it. And next came in our secretary, Bhavani. I have used 2 words for Toastmaster Bhavani here, which of course are a paradigm shift. On one side, I have used the word elaborate, and on the other side, I have used concise. Though they are kind of opposites, it goes together for Bhavani's report submitted. She was elaborate, meaning she gave in every single detail that we had to listen. At the same time, she was concise. The number of words chosen were exactly directed to the facts and the information that had to be passed on. So Toastmaster Bhavani, kudos on that job, and thank you for providing information in the most simple and concise way. Next came in the Toastmaster of the day. We will keep the feedback of the for the Toastmaster to the end. Now we'll be moving on and getting the report from the TAPCHI. First, let me call upon our timer, Toastmaster Shashi.
Good evening once again. Business session started at 6:20. Sergeant at Arms took 3 minutes for his address from 6:23 to 6:26. Presidential address was from 6:26 to 6:34. And minutes of meeting read by secretary was from 6:26 to 6:29. And speaker 1, Toastmaster Varaprasad, took 9 minutes. Speaker 2, Toastmaster Bhavani, took 8 minutes 12 seconds. And table topic session started at 7:07 and it continues till 7:30. It is for around 23 minutes. And DTM Udanka took 1 minute 25 seconds. Toastmaster Shashi took 52 seconds. DTM MU Bhatt took 1 minute 50 seconds. DTM AK Prabhakara took 2 minutes 30 seconds. Toastmaster Spurti took 1 minute 55 seconds. Toastmaster Vijay Upendra took 2 minutes 5 seconds. Toastmaster Ankita took 2 minutes 11 seconds. Toastmaster Balaji took 1 minute 44 seconds. And Toastmaster Shiva took 53 seconds. And the break was from for 5 minutes. And general evaluation started at 7:37 p.m. and Toastmaster Ujjwal, first evaluator, Toastmaster Ujjwal took 3 minutes, and the second evaluator, Toastmaster Spurti, took 4 minutes 34 seconds. And the general evaluation is still going on. So that's it from the timer, and back to you, general evaluator Toastmaster Balaji.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shashi. Definitely no time for me to give the right feedback for you, because I think you didn't just take a time or a check of how many minutes each speaker took. You in fact have the entire session scripted in time. Just one quick suggestion that I would like to make, Toastmaster Shashi. We saw in the previous meetings a couple of timers shared the entire report. There's a share screen option when there is availability of technology. You could make use of that. So that can immediately throw full clarity on what people want to see. But otherwise, you have done a clean job. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shashi. Let's hear it for Toastmaster Shashi. Let me now call upon our counter, DTM MU Bhatt.
Mr. General Evaluator and fellow Toastmasters. I do not remember when was the last time I took this role as an R counter, but today's was a very enlightening experience for me. One thing is, as I've always been thinking, I've been a fan of 3 persons in our club as far as the speech delivery is concerned. One, of course, is Balaji. Second is Vijay Upendra, both for the table topic response in particular, the kind of cut and ride and with the kind of clarity of thinking they're giving. And of course, the unbeatable Bhavani, for cut absolutely flawless. And today, all of them did come to my expectations, because particularly I like that Bhavani's both the MOM presentation as well as the 8-minute speech. Absolutely flawless, wonderful presentation. I wish I could follow. I would recommend that all of you go through this presentation or recorded meetings to understand what I'm trying to tell, because you will understand what exactly is happening there. There is generally what happens is there is some crowding of ideas, so you at the ahs and ums. Then you are sometimes search for the right words and you're not able to do. Sometimes we get in habit of using ahs and ums, as it happens in my case or some of us. So you can see in a speech what exactly. Same thing with Balaji. Of course, today Balaji in general evaluation session, he bit faulted. He used number of ahs, maybe because he's taking it for the first time. I think there was some confusion in his mind. But otherwise, his table topic responses are simply amazing for the sheer clarity of thinking and ability to go from micro to macro. That is one thing which I really enjoy. But even Upendra also did an amazing job today. I become really fans of this. So coming to other, Varaprasad was a flawless speech today, and so was Ujjwal's evaluation. Absolutely flawless, both of them. Shiva definitely impressed me last time as a master of ceremony. Of course, I missed it in the last moment because there was some breakdown on my internet. Today also, he was no different, but is in table topic response. I think he did. No, he did not have it. Did you have a table topic today? Yeah, but it is today. He was some few hours were there, so there's one thing which distracted me, but otherwise it's okay. But what I liked about Shiva was, of course, his Amitabh Bachchan voice is so powerful and it's so very attractive, and it fascinates me. And as far as the table topic response is concerned, today I can be more charitable. Udanka definitely has come a long way. It did an absolutely very good job today. Shashi had a couple of hours. MU, but of course had a maximum number of hours as usual. And so the crutch words and hours, that's one thing. And that in that hours number of hours I share with the Spurti, who also uses quite a few hours in their table topic response. And Ankita also, our presidential address was flawless, but in table topic response, a few hours were there. That is acceptable. I can be more charitable there. But you share one crutch word with me, which I also use a lot. And what about another thing I should bring about is Gaurav Badri. I've seen him from the beginning, how he has evolved as a Toastmaster in our club. Today was a flawless way of the Sergeant at Arms presentation. Absolutely no ask. Particularly when the storytelling comes, you tend to use some ahs and ums. He did not do that. Wonderful job done. And whom did I meet? Only one person I would like to give more attention. Indrani, I've been always fascinated by your table topic responses and your clarity of thinking. But today I saw that you had used quite a number of ahs. Something like you are trying to break my record, which I hold for last 20 years in this club, the number of hours using. But I think I would request particularly you to go through the recorded version to find out what exactly is, even in a simple thing as narration or telling a topic or putting a topic, when you are trying to use an R, it can definitely be avoided. That is just, I don't know, it has become a something like an habit, it happens, that can be overcome very easily by some application of mine. This is my thought. I suggest you honestly to go through your this recorded presentation to find what exactly I meant by that. So there is only one suggestion I can give. Otherwise, I had an amazing session today. I thoroughly enjoyed every speech and the presidential, everything was flawless. Actually, a lot of learning as far as the R counter also is concerned. So with that, I would request, I will hand over back to the general evaluator.
Thank you so much, DTM MU Bhatt. You didn't just do your job of being an R counter. I think you helped me by sharing the lectern, and you were also partially the general evaluator for today, because it was not just the R counts that happened, it's the complete evaluation is what I would like to say. So thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster MU Bhatt. Now, while you've done a fabulous job and you've given us some great feedback, a lot of us would generally go beyond what is asked, and it comes across beautiful. It comes across beautiful when you have the experience that DTM MU Bhatt has. Now, for the others who are still starting off, who are here still learning, there are a few things that we need to count on. We need to be looking. Where I felt it was missing is, as a speaker, I always like to listen to the number of R counts, because consciously I want to reduce that number of R counts. So, sir, I felt that number of R counts and the crutch words that we were using, that if some light would have been thrown on that, would have been fabulous, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Over to you.
I would just I have got a systematic record. I got all the number of R's and all. As far as the R counter role is concerned, I feel that it is a very embarrassing kind of job. What happens is, I can say, and I found from experience that he has used 8 number of R's, he has used 12 number of R's. I feel that it's all meaningless. It doesn't mean anything. How we can go ahead and try to reduce it, and what we can do it. and what really happens, why the A's are happening and how can reduce it. In my case, I'm been consciously trying to reduce, but with the little success. I got these crutch words of and, so, and you know, and I use number of A's. So what I think that I got crowding of thoughts happening in my mind. So these are the things which I wanted to bring out. You know, it is not, I'm just trying to go beyond the R counter because it is like that. And sheer giving numbers may not help in my opinion. It doesn't really, you know, you don't count. Last time I used 10 and this time come 8, I improved. No, it doesn't happen that way. That's what I personally feel. You know, this is my personal opinion. Back to sir.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that clarity provided, sir. As a speaker, I would still like my number. I would still like to know what are the clutch words that I'm using. That is me as a speaker. So I would want my accountant to give this data to me. That is just me. And that's all, sir. That's all.
Okay, but everyone, one more point. Your number of
yes,
counts
sir, yes,
here about the number of hours in the general evaluator was about 12. You can go through your record until now. Yes. And as a table topic speaker, nil. This is my record as far as the accounting
is concerned.
In your case.
Thank you so much.
And one word amazing you use, which you share with me, you are fascinated by the word amazing. I also use it quite honest because I'm really amazed at so many things happening around. So you also use it. There's only one word. Is not. I won't call it a crutch word, but you use it very effectively. Back to you.
Perfect, sir. Perfect. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. No questions asked. That was in fact a detailed report. In fact, a very, very fruitful R-counter report is what I would like to say. Let us all hear it for our distinguished Toastmaster M.U. Bhatt. Let us now call upon our PPE evaluator, DTM Udanka.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Balaji. There were a couple of entries and exits during the meeting, and they were during the transaction of the speaker. And those who exited the meeting dropped a message in the chat box saying and the reason why they're exiting. With that, the meeting went flawlessly. There was no use of sex, religious, or politics. Back to you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Balaji.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Udanka. I would definitely say Toastmaster Udanka perfectly fits the role of PPE. I feel the one who doesn't break the rule should actually keep a watch on the rule book. And Toastmaster DTM Udanka, you are definitely a figure that we all look up to. And thank you so much for keeping another vigilant experience alive. Next, let me call upon the grammarian for the day, DTM AK Prabhakara.
Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, there were some excellent usages today. Nothing was arbitrary, but it was natural. That's how it is. And the word arbitrary, which was the word of the meeting, was not used except by the grammarian so far till now. That's about it. Having said that, I would like to say Sergeant at Arms, no flop, MOM, no flop. President had excellent usage of words, cringe, grumble, that all explained. Word came out flowing, flooding, and everything was something like, it was very natural. Though she might have prepared well, it came out very, very naturally. And there were some very good phrases: fail to appreciate, break barriers, trivial things that matter. Then MC Shiva was, I think, he's a very natural person. I don't see him here. Is he? Yeah, he is there. Very natural person in some of the usages, being present in the moment, screaming, shouting, enjoying. These are all give the very descriptive words that brought about what was the situation that he was describing. Speaking about games, see, he was using this as a, it's an application of transition. I want everybody to appreciate. Speaking about games, he said, moving from one kind of description he was giving to another area of description. That transition needs to be recognized and appreciated. And again, he used the most often cliched transition also, I noted, without much ado. And it has to be noted. And some of us miss that transition. Transition is critical in a speech. Please be aware of that. There is something called transition, and he used it very, very successfully. That's, I want you to note that. These are the two words. Child be born, child be reborn, he said. Let the child be reborn. Let the word was gobbled up or left out. So you should be alert. You can watch on the video tomorrow. Some of these words we have the habit of assuming that we have spoken, but it is not in place. So this is one thing I want to point out. Children easily forgive others. Beautifully said. Children are expert at fun. Very well used. You see how beautifully he has used. Everything fitted into the place. These are the things, plus and minus side, I wanted to bring out. Varaprasad, something that I want to point out. Varaprasad used something special. Tak, 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 and boom. It brought about what exactly he wanted to convey, and there was something like a voice modulation which was naturally built in. So these are the things that I remember. And latch on, latch in option, boot up. These are the technical jargon. It appears, but it is to be noted down that these are the things that needs to be noticed when somebody from another space is speaking in space that is not we usually are used to. I'm used to it. Some of you may be good at it, but I thought I should bring it in. Sequencing, mentors for product, potential, concept is ready. Concept is ready, but translation is difficult. There was one not so good usages, not up to mark usage. I was come out with full colors. You should say I came out with flying colors. That is the usage. Over optimistic. Optimistic is being on the positive side. Over optimistic is something beyond. And I think that was also acceptable and good usage. Toastmaster Bhavani in her speaker said, ship is not built to be in the harbor. That was very good usage, I suppose. The why aspect of a given situation, excellent. Planning was the mantra. I did beautifully worded. One-on-one call, it's usual, but it was very well used, aptly used at certain point. Collaborative, affiliative, beautiful words. Leadership is not one size fits all. We have beautifully brought out. It's about adapting, she said. Then T.M. Indrani said creative thinking. Then many Toastmasters in the table topic, they used interpreting the picture, she said, Indrani. That was very good usage, I suppose. Involve and evolve, one table topic response, that usage was there. Emotional interaction, devouring. I think Ankita used the word devouring. And golden period of life, beautiful. Raw nature, let go. There were some fine phrases, words used in place, in good appropriate places, and it made the speech all the more attractive. Then we had visual. I think you have to be alert about usage of one word, kudos. I think you repeatedly use the kudos word. You have to find synonyms for that, and you should be able to switch as and when you want. So watch out on that. And amazing. I think frequently use the word amazing. I don't want to say, but you have to. This is where somewhere along it is actually word. Actually, some people use it repeatedly, so you can be aware of that. That's the whole idea behind this telling that. G also said beautiful words. Kindled. He could another word is trigger, but he used the word kindled. Beautiful word. Paradigm shift. Please, this is a very, very beautiful word, and that is a management jargon, and it's something that I keep reminding myself. Simple and concise, he said. Beautiful. And the R counter MU Bhatt, DTM MU Bhatt, made a statement, use the word micro to macro, charitable, crowding of thoughts. I thought it was very nicely used, crowding of thoughts. PPE, he had a wrong usage. I think I heard it right, but I'm pointing out no use of sex, religion, and politics in the meeting. Is it correct usage? no use of, no talk on sex, religion, and politics. No use of, we didn't use any sex, religion, and politics in the meeting. I thought it was wrong. So I want to point out that though it appears right, but it has been used so many times, we take it for granted. But on a formal meeting setup, you have to be alert. That's about it. And on the whole, I wanted to appreciate what things that went right. Things that didn't go so much right, I have pointed out, and it is generally we are all learn from each other. I use the word, let's hear it for them. That's what our GE used the word. Another for I'm used to the word of let's hear a round of applause. He said let's hear it for him or her. It was a different usage. Very well done. Everything went well. As pointed out, we always correct ourselves and apply it next time. Over to General Evaluator.
Wow. We call it a delight. Now this is called a delight over delight. We had a fabulous counter session, and I think we have yet another fabulous grammarian session. It's the value that each role can bring in. What can TAPG do? If someone asks the question, I think as DTM, MU Bhatt and DTM Prabhakara always say, you can watch the recording. I think I'll play the recording of these two roles because so much clarity provided. As a speaker, I can take home a lot. So thank you so much, DTM AK Prabhakara, for that elaborate and yet super effective grammarian session. Let's hear it for DTM AK Prabhakara. Now, let's give you all 10 seconds to go ahead and fill in the ballot and choose your speaker, evaluator, and all the role takers. With that, I'll be moving on. Hopefully everyone's done casting their vote. Next up, let's talk about the table topic master. Firstly, I think let us all congratulate Toastmaster Indrani for a fabulous table topic session. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Indrani, for a very, very interesting and intriguing table topic session. Why am I calling it interesting and intriguing? Because it definitely awakened the sense of knowing more after we looked at the abstract images that you put up. Why would I call it abstract? Because here you're letting the speaker's imagination and the connection with the image run as wild as possible. Here, the speaker doesn't have to stick to the image. The speaker is got the privilege of doing anything that the speaker wants. And the images also match the theme, which was another success for you. The images very well fit in with the theme, and every speaker could speak not just for 2 minutes. They could even go beyond that if they wanted to, because this was easy to assimilate, easy to assess, and easy to execute as well. So thank you to so much, Toastmaster Indrani, for a fabulous topics that you provided. Now, just a few things that you could maybe make note for the next table topic session. So what I would call this session is a session that was technically perfect. Now, with the technicality also comes the little few practical aspects for a table topic master, because somehow we look at the table topic master as the entertainment master also, someone who is here to keep us occupied in that time frame. Initially, you started off with great energy, and I felt over a period of time that energy was dipping a little. So maintaining energy levels throughout the session becomes very important, not just for table topic master, but also for the Toastmaster of the day. And also, you had very interesting images. What I felt missing was complete clarity provided to the participants on how to go about these images. I felt you had a different concept, but the different concept was not put enough light for the participants to actually take a look at. But not to take away from the amazing session we had, it was 20 minutes of stay glued to the screen time, especially with the topics and the responses that our table topic speakers gave. All in all, a fabulous table topic session. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Indrani. And another special mention to the table topic speakers. Everyone gave in a fabulous take on the image. Now, just as another suggestion on how we could look at table topics going forward is the entire audience looks at something in a particular topic, which becomes the common hood. When does your table topic speech, the 2-minute, become a little extraordinary? Is when you go a little beyond and give your personalized take on a particular topic, which could differ from the audience. When the audience look at you speak and they're like, oh, wow, we could have looked at this topic even this way, is when I think as a table topic speaker, there is more value add that you would have done to yourself and to the table topic session. Just one suggestion that I wanted to give you all. And from there, let's move to the Toastmaster of the day, MC Shiva. Let me clearly say, what a start. What a beautiful start, Toastmaster Shiva. There are very, very less interaction between us, but I have seen you speak on multiple occasions, and I would say this occasion is the best occasion that we saw you speak. The opening speech spoke a lot about your credibility as a speaker, the humor that you infused, the scripting that you had, the ideas that you shared. The Toastmaster's biggest task becomes knitting the entire meat. And how can you knit the entire meat? By being relatable to your audience. I felt from the very start, you were extremely relatable to the audience. You knew the emotions of the audience and you spoke just that. And I like the humor that you brought in. I like the energy that you brought in. Somehow I felt there was a similar problem even here. The energy drop was quite evident. Maybe you were a little tensed with the network dropping. Somehow I felt the network drop did play a huge role in the mood shift that you had. But otherwise, I definitely would suggest, Toastmaster Shiva, we would love to see you take up this particular task a lot many times, because we definitely are seeing a better and better version of you by every passing interaction. So you are growing at a tremendous speed, and kudos to that. Let us all hear it for Toastmaster Shiva. With that, I would now like to conclude my general evaluation session by saying this was indeed a fabulous session, a session with a lot of learnings and a session with a lot of valuable feedback. With that, I will pass it back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shiva.
Thank you, Toastmaster Balaji, for that super detailed general evaluation. I know it's the meeting has gone for very long. Some of your backs are aching, some of your legs are aching, dinner is waiting. But I will say what I have to say and end this. Some of you might have drifted back to your childhood and thought those were the golden days of my life. Let me give you a different way to look at life. The entire period of your life, as long as you're alive and healthy, is the golden period of your life. Just keep that childlike curiosity alive. Ask more questions. Forgive people. And last but not least, do not let the child in you die. Back to the President, Toastmaster Ankit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shiva. We had a very wholesome meeting, amazing speeches, great evaluations, and an amazing table topic session. And also a special mention to our debutant GE, who doesn't seem like it was his debutant role at all. He perfectly aced it very flawlessly, beautifully done. Now, I would like all of you to give feedback on Basecamp so as to encourage the various role takers in today's meeting. I'm sure everyone who took part in today's meeting deserves that extra feedback on Basecamp because everyone today has put in their best foot forward. Also, tomorrow, the link to stream the meeting on YouTube will be shared. I request all the members to please, you can watch yourselves again. And like Balaji profusely mentioned that he's going to go back and watch people again. He's going to go back and see the valuable insights that have been shared today. So that is what the link is for. Please do open that link and you can watch yourselves again. So today we've received 15 out of 15 votes. So let's give ourselves a round of applause for that. Everyone who's in the meeting room has casted a vote in today's meeting. So thank you for that. Now I will announce the winners of today's meeting. The best role taker in the Tab G category goes to DTM AK Prabhakara sir, who pointed out every single speaker's good and bad usages. A very comprehensive report by you, sir. Congratulations. The best role taker in the major, that is the MC, TTM and G category goes to Toastmaster, our debutant role taker for today, Toastmaster Balaji, who gave everyone a very upbeat introduction, at the same time maintaining criticality of his feedback. So great job done, Balaji. Congratulations to you. The best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Ujwal, who came very well prepared with his evaluation. He had some good points to point at for the speaker. I'm sure the speaker also has been enlightened by you and will work on those suggestions. Congratulations, Ujwal. The best table topic response goes to the one person who I feel has a lot of content to give whenever he comes. His responses are very, from the heart and content driven, and they're serious in a manner. And that is the Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. Congratulations for bagging the best table topic speaker for the day. And the best prepared speech goes to Toastmaster Bhavani, who had brilliant usages in her speech of phrases, words, very well prepared, well structured. Congratulations, Toastmaster Bhavani. A big congratulations to all the winners and a special round of applause for all the role takers in today's meeting. Thank you for having weaved this meeting beautifully, and it came out perfect, like a perfect masterpiece. I would like to end by saying that, like Shiva said, the golden period of your life is the entire time when you're healthy. So live life and never let the child inside you die. Good night, everyone. See you next Monday. Bye.
Thank you.
Photo.
Yes.
Somewhere along they publish in YouTube with the photos. That's why.
Yeah.
If you have already taken, close it.
No. I will just take it quickly. Can everyone please turn on their videos? Shiva, can you please come on video?
Balaji.
Shiva, are you on video? Okay, yeah, he is. Okay, thank you. Done.